I did one TBR, like a monthly TBR, and realized that's for the birds. Well, hello, welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books and just booktube stuff. This June, I can't remember what the date is exactly. Let me go see. Let's have a look. I was gonna say June, sometime in June is my like booktube anniversary, and it was June 13th. June 13th was my 7-year Booktube anniversary. So I'm doing this tag, the Booktube Oldie Tag, instead of Booktube Newbie. I think I've done this before, probably. I don't remember. First question though is, when did you start your channel? And the answer to that is 2017. It was a time in my life where I just was feeling like I was kind of losing myself a little bit. I was in a relationship that was not good, and was, at the time when I started my channel, is like right around the time that stuff started like ramping up more in the abuse department and mental and emotional abuse. And I just realized like I didn't have a community. I didn't have like a group of friends. And this person was, in retrospect, I realized like definitely trying to isolate me. Whether they realized it or not, their actions, they were definitely trying to get me isolated, but they weren't. They never really succeeded in that, thankfully. And even me starting BookTube was a problem because there was a lot of paranoia and just a lot of things, and thought that I was trying to do BookTube to, like, I don't know, find fuck buddies or something. It was, there's stories behind that are ridiculous with some of the accusations that were made surrounding me making friends on BookTube. At any rate, I kept doing it because I really loved it, and I just was like, I don't care. Like, be pissy with me. Don't give a shit. Like, I just didn't really talk to him about it. He knew I made videos and everything, and I just would not talk about my BookTube friends because I didn't want the problems, but I kept at it, and I'm so glad that I did. Because, yeah, then when I left the relationship, I still made videos. I was still making videos. I think it just gave me something to, like, come back to, you know? A sense of normalcy, I guess. So, yeah, I'm so glad that I did it. Number 2 is, what were your staple videos when you started your channel versus now? I definitely did a lot more tags in the first couple years of me doing BookTube. I was just like the tag queen. I was doing all the freaking tags, every tag I could find. I was creating tags. I created the Will and Grace tag, BookTube tag, the library 411 tag. I did some little challenge video too, like bookshelf. I don't know. I'll have those linked somewhere. And I just did everybody's tags. I also did readathons obsessively. There were times where I would be doing multiple readathons at a time, which a lot of people do, and just sounds unbearable to me now. And yeah, so I don't do very many tags anymore. I think probably just because I like feel like I did them all mostly. I'm just like, Jesus, I've done all the fucking tags. I still do one every now and then, but not nearly as much as I used to. What else? For a little while I did monthly wrap-ups. I can't remember how long. I don't remember if it was a full year or not, but for a while I did monthly wrap-ups, and then I just realized I didn't like the time constraint that the pressure it made me feel of like, it's the end of the month, I need to get this video and I need to get it out within the first week of the new month in order to like keep up or whatever. And it was just like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. So I just started doing recent wrap-ups or recent reads or whatever. I've called them different things. So yeah, that. I never did TBRs. I did one TBR, like a monthly TBR, and realized that's for the birds. So never did that. But yeah, just way less readathons and way less tags. Number 3, what was your favorite book the year you started your channel versus now? And in 2017, my favorites of the year, I'll Give You the Sun and I Darken. And I've reread I'll Give You the Sun a few times. I reread it this year. Still stands up, 5 stars every time. And I Darken, I have not reread, but I was just talking about it. It's still in my mind as one of my top like favorite young adult, and it's historical fiction, so it's like speculative-ish, but it's in my memory as loving it still. But I was saying in that video, like, I need to reread it to see if it holds up. It's still a favorite in my head, but I need to see if it holds up. And this year so far, my favorites for the year have been the Manifold Wars duology by Foz Meadows, Tyranny of Queens, Accident of Stars, and When the World Tips Over by Jandy Nelson. She finally put out a new book years and years later, and I could not be happier because it was great. What else? Yeah, we'll just go with those. Number 4, how has your reading and the reading trends of the community changed since you started your channel? My reading taste, I read way less young adult these days. I still find young adult, like fantasy, I really, unless it's like Jandy Nelson, I'm probably not gonna pick up young adult contemporary most of the time because it just almost never like works for me. I feel like a lot of times like the dialogue and stuff, it's either that a fair amount of authors like don't write dialogue as well as I would like, and especially teenage dialogue, or it's accurate and the way that kids talk these days just drives me fucking nuts or something, because so many young adult contemporaries I've read, and ones with like hard-hitting topics and themes where I'm like, I like the premise and I like what we're doing here, but oh my God, I can't stand reading this dialogue. It's cringy and painful. So, I don't know. And then even with young adult fantasy, those elements of it, teenagers being teenagers, very young adults being very young adults, I was there. I was dumb and annoying and so stupid in those years of my life. Like, I would not want to read a book with Joshana at 17 years old as a character, because Jesus Christ, so annoying, I'm sure. And I don't have kids, and that's like, there's so many reasons I don't want to have kids now. That's one. I'm just like, dude, the idea of listening to like some fucking middle schoolers and high schoolers talking about their dumb middle school, high school shit, like, I want them to live their life. They're doing their thing. We've all been there, but I don't want to hear it. I can't. It pains me. Like, shut up. So, yeah, I read way less of that. I think I'm just aging out a fair amount. I'm 38 years old almost. Jesus Christ, yeah. In August, I'm going to be 38. That's wild. Anyhow, so yeah, I think it's not like it can't be enjoyed if you're older. I'm just the type of person that as I get older and older, I find it less enjoyable. Mostly just the way they talk and interact. I can't. And the trends of the community, I mean, fantasy romance has like blown the fuck up because of TikTok, I think. Just romance in general. Like in the bookternet, I want to say, because I mean, romance has always had a huge community and audience for sure, but well before the internet even. But I think it's just much more like visible because of book talk. Like I said, fantasy romance was always popular, but I just think it's become much more visible, and just romance in general, not just fantasy romance. Number 5, anything you want to share about your life that has changed since you started your channel? Well, I was kind of talking about that before. Definitely got out of a not good relationship that I was in at the time. And at the time that I started my channel, I mean, I'd been in that relationship already for 4 years. I had already been in it for 4 years when I started my channel. And then I got out of it at like 5.5 years in. So that changed, and that was a whole thing. And then I had several other relationships after that. Well, not several, like 2 relationships. Bought my house. Then when I was single, and then I bought my house in the time that I was single for a while. COVID was a thing that happened. That's the time frame I bought my house, actually, was January of 2021, February 2021. And then a few months later, met my now current boyfriend who lives with me, and we've been together for 3 years, a little over 3 years now. And it's the happiest, healthiest relationship I've ever been in, bar none, by far and away. So that's great. Love that. Changed jobs several times. Once at the beginning of this year, unceremoniously being laid off, but then found a new job and love that job. Yeah, that's the biggest things I think that have changed. Yeah. Number 6, why do you keep making videos? And I just think it's fun. I don't know. I think it's fun. I like reading, and I enjoy the process of recording videos and editing the videos and posting the videos for people to see. It's so funny. Elle and I, like, she's one of my best friends, Elliot Brooks, and we're so different in so many ways, and that is one way. I was watching one of her videos recently where she was talking about, like, her part of her channel is she hates the most, and I'm like, I love that. Like, I feel like such a fucking conceited ass bitch sometimes editing my videos, and like I'm saying something funny or silly in the video, and like while I'm editing, I catch myself like smiling at myself. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I'm just like, oh, I'm funny. And I've just always been that way since I was little. My mom she had like the, you know, late 80s, early 90s, like camcorder, like that you hold on your fucking shoulder. And she would take videos of us just like hanging out at home, playing, me and my brother, just, you know, recording our childhood. And there's one where she's getting my brother, who's younger than me, and like the baby, you know, so she's trying to like catch up, basically get footage of him because she has plenty of me already. So it's like, yeah, she's getting me too, but like mostly him. And she was like recording him playing with something, and I'm across the room and I'm like, Mommy, did you get me? Did you take my picture? And then I'm just like smiling and like posing, and she's like, yes, Shoshana, I got you. I'm like, okay. So I've never been shy in front of a camera, and like never been shy talking to people and like putting myself out there like that. I hate like performing, like doing like, you know, like stage, like theater or something, like acting in front of people. Cannot do that. But just being myself in front of people, no problem whatsoever. So yeah, I like that aspect of it. I like putting myself out there. And I don't know, I just think it's fun. And I like putting my bookish opinions out there and having people respond and like say what their opinions are. I just like the whole process, you know? It's fun. I make way less videos now than when I first started because I was doing 4 videos a week. But now I'm to like 1 or 2. And that's probably what I'll keep it at for a while, is like a video a week, sometimes 2. Very occasionally if I have enough videos backed up, like 3 or 4. But I think I'm good with that for a while because I still like it, but I don't like the obligation reading element. Sometimes there is an appeal to like just not doing the channel anymore and literally just reading whatever the fuck I want without any thought of like, oh, but I read that one recently and that one's being published on this day and I need to get my video up for it in time. So I don't have that much of that in my booktube career, in my booktube experience. I've purposely made my whole booktube thing pretty damn obligation free, but there is just inherently a little bit of that still, no matter what. 7, what are you excited about / hoping for in the future of booktube? I mean, I just hope it continues getting more diverse, more inclusive. It's slow progress. Yeah, I don't know, hope we continue seeing more and more people. I hope people keep realizing and acknowledging and like believing in themselves and believing that their voice matters to someone. Someone's gonna give a shit about what you have to say about books. If you feel like you have something to say, or you do have something to say and you think about sharing it with the bookternet and you feel comfortable doing that, I just hope that you believe in yourself and that you do it and that people keep doing that and that more diverse and more inclusive like voices and channels keep popping up, because it's definitely improved since I started. Like I said, slow progress, but progress. I'd like to see it speed up. That'd be great. Number 8 is to tag people. This is the part of tags I've always sucked at. You're tagged if you want to do it. Tag, you're it. There you go. And there we have it. That's the questions. Thanks for hanging out with me while I reminisce a little bit today about the long ass amount of time. All of my 30s, pretty much. Most of my 30s I've been on booktube. So what, I was 31? Math. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.